This following video is presented by Presence Consulting Group, where we commit ourselves to your project's success. For more information, please visit our website at www.presencecg.com. Our topic for this tutorial is adding charts in Iron Speed applications. And our presenter is Iron Speed MVP Herman Chan. For questions after seeing the video, please email Herman at herman.chan@presencecg.com.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to talk about adding charts in your Iron Speed applications. In earlier versions of Iron Speed, chart add-in is not out of the box. In other words, if you want to add charts to your applications, you probably have to purchase some third-party components that's going to cost your project more time, more money, and you probably need to do some programming in order to integrate them behind the scenes. But since version 8, Iron Speed Designer comes with built-in charts, and it is so easy to add charts to your applications. What I liked about it in particular is that it also intelligent enough to know where you place the chart and be able to data bind it correctly based on your context. Say for example, if you're putting a chart on a row in the table, it knows which entity it is displaying on that row and be able to filter out irrelevant data on your chart, and I'll show you that in a minute. In this video, I'm going to be reusing the same asset management demo database, and I'll be using product price for the sample data points. Let's get started. First, I want to show you the simple database which we're going to be using for this sample application. We're going to be using asset management demo database, and we're going to be using the asset family, product group, and product tables mainly for our sample app. Asset family is the parent table, and it has like computers, cell phones, projectors, monitors as the main asset family. Under that we have product group table, and then we have the asset family ID as a foreign key. As you can see, it further defines under each asset family which product group it has, such as mid-level servers, laptops, BlackBerry, iPhone, groups like that. Under that we have product, and we also have the product group ID as a foreign key. In this case, we're mainly going to be using the price column, the price data under the product table for putting together some charts. Next, I want to show you the finished page. The goal for this video is to build 4 different charts, 2 standalone and 2 on the row level. This is an Iron Speed Designer generated Edit Asset Family page, which lists all the asset families. The first 2 charts are standalone charts. On the left hand side, it lists all the products and its price in a bar chart, whereas the right hand one displays average price per asset family. If we scroll down, we could see this is the normal asset family table control, except we have charts at the end of each row. The first one shows the average product price for that particular asset family, and then the second one further breaks it down to show average product price per product group under that asset family. As you probably have noticed already, this is also intelligent enough to know that which asset family the row displays, and also shows only relevant data. For example, in the computer's asset family, it only shows the average product price per for the computer's asset family, and it only shows the workstations and the laptops product groups. Alright, let's get to work. Let's first jump back to Iron Speed Designer and add a brand new page so we can work together on adding those charts. My sample app is called My App 6. So I'm going to go to Tools, Application Wizard, and check my Asset Management Demo, and only select Asset Family. Let me only add the Edit Table page, and select all this by default. Okay. Adding a new page right now. Go back. And now I have a second page. It's called Edit Asset Family Table 2.aspx. So let me first go to that 2, refresh my browser, and see this is the page by default. It has the asset family show table control without any charts. Let me go back to Iron Speed Designer and take out all this unnecessary column first. So I don't want to have manager column, I don't want to have contact person, just so we have more space for charts. Okay. Bill. Let me go back and start adding the standalone charts on top first. Before I do that, let me open up another browser to bring up our finished page so we can always compare. Okay, this is our finished product. Let me go to Iron Speed Designer. We're on this page right now. Let me go to another page section. Add a row. The next thing would be adding a chart. Under the toolbox, it also has the charts tab. And by default, it has 3 different categories: count of, sum of, and average of. So let me go back to my finished page to find out what I want to do. Okay, on the first chart, we want to show all the prices by different product. So in this case, we want to do sum of, product price by. By dragging and dropping this option into a particular table cell, it prompts the charting wizard. And the first page, as you can see, is choosing a correct chart type. And in our case, we want to have a vertical bar chart. Going to next, it asks you what kind of operation you want to choose. Because we selected sum of, it automatically knows that you're doing a sum of definition. So sum of y-axis, product and price, and x-axis, what we want to display would be product and then the product name. See, as you select different options, it automatically refreshes the preview for you. This is a more definition, a more detailed definition page for you to select your settings. You can choose to show or hide the chart title or the titles on the X and Y axis. It also lets you set the pixels of your chart size, and I'm just going with the default. Colors, in this case you can use a single color, and then you can choose a color basically, or you can use a pamphlet where it has different themes of colors. So I'm going to choose this time. Absolute value versus percentages, and whether I want to show a value on the edge. I want to use all this. See, you also have a others tab, others bar. This is basically being configured by this section, records to show. You can choose all, which shows all the products, or you can choose top 10, and this is configurable. I don't like to have others, so I would check off this include remainder checkbox, and I'm just going to do all. The order here is for you to choose whether you want to see the bars from largest to the smallest or vice versa. Okay, so it adds a chart component to it. And if you take a look at different tabs under this, you would also see it adds a new data source component. It's called price sum query. Let's first build a project and see. Let me refresh the page. And as you can see, it has all the products already. The chart is compiled and being displayed. There are a lot more options you can set to make it look more professional and beautiful, and I'm going to show you that right now. Let's say I want to change the title. The title doesn't really fit. I want to say price per product. What I can do is go into this designer view, go to the formulas tab, and it has different options for me as well. So besides on the right hand side where properties is, where you can select all this, set all these different options, there are some options under the formulas tab as well. So in this case, I want to say on the chart title, price per product. Index is the x-axis, and in this case I want to only have product instead of product name. Product name would be the label, and those would be the label. Some of the product names are pretty long, and you can use the formula to shorten it as well. Okay, let me actually make it bigger so that it shows. Instead of 500 pixels, let me do 800 pixels and 800 pixels for width. Okay, now I have a much evenly spaced, not as congested bar chart, and it has the new title and the new label for my x-axis. The next thing I want to add is an average price per asset family chart, which is a very similar process. Let me do that real quick. So let me jump back to Iron Speed Designer, add a new row, and then in this case I want to do an average of product.price. Drag it over here. Again, I want to do, oh, maybe I will change something up. We'll do a horizontal bar chart instead. Next, average, and in this case I want to select asset family name 800 and 800 for width as well. Want to use a different theme, and I want to show all. This is the preview. Before I build a project, let me change this. The chart title should be average price per asset family. See, this is my second standalone chart. See how easy it is. Within minutes, I already add 2 different charts without any programming. And of course, I can go back to Iron Speed Designer to make it look more professional. It has a lot of settings already on the right hand side where you can change, like the background color, the width of each bar, the color of each bar, stuff like that. And it is just a really a breeze to put together charts. Before I jump to show you how to add a row level chart, which is really the same process, I want to show you one more place which is a little bit more hidden for you to change settings for existing charts. So let me go back to Iron Speed Designer. Notice that I already have the price average chart highlighted, which is the second chart we just added. There's also another tab called Data Sources, and just like I said before, whenever you add a new chart, Iron Speed Designer adds a new data source for you. And for price average chart, it is using the price average query as a data source. You can click on Edit to pull up the data source for this chart, and this is where you can change whether you want to show all records or the top 5 or a self-configured number 15 records. You can do that, and also you can configure the where clause. This is where you have, let's say, an active and inactive asset family, and you can click on add where clause, and then you can specify your additional where clauses. Basically, I don't have any conditions here, so I'm just going to cancel out, but I just want to show you another place for you to configure your existing chart. Let me add the row level charts. So I'm going to go into the asset family table control. Go into the fields, and right now we only have asset family name column. Let me first drag this over here. I'm going to select the vertical bar chart type, and in the first chart I want to do an average product price for that very asset family. So I'm going to choose asset family name, and I'm gonna uncheck the others bar, select all, use Excel for this. Actually, because this row itself is as a family, there's only going to be one row. Let me do Alice Blue. That's good. Finish. And I'm going to do another average product price, and this time I want to select product group. All values, and there are going to be more than one bars because for each SF family there are multiple product groups. Right? Let me change the title. Average price for SF family. And then this one would be average price for product group. Okay, so now I have two more charts at the end of the row. See, by default it picks up which SF family we are talking about here. For the first row it only shows computers, and it shows you the average price for all the products under this SF family. And then on the second chart it breaks it down to product groups, and still we're talking about product groups under this SF family. So we're just talking about workstations and laptops, product groups under the computers. By the same concept, if you look into cell phones and projectors, cell phones only shows you cell phones as the SF family for the first chart, and only the product groups under cell phones in the second chart. So as you can see, this chart also detects which row you are on, what entity you are associated with on this row, and then display appropriate data. If you look back and see how I compile or build the standalone charts, I'm doing the exact same thing. Iron Speed Designer just knows whether this is a standalone chart versus this is a row level chart, and be able to give you appropriate data. And all this wiring is automatic.